That's it. Okay, this is my presentation on titles. It's for a show called Café Americain, which is a spin-off from Casablanca. The logline: Rick Blaine, an American nightclub owner, freedom fighter, one step ahead of the firing squad. The show is a spin-off from the classic movie Casablanca. It follows on from the movie's ending. It's based in and around the city of Casablanca in 1941. Morocco is occupied and governed by the Vichy French and the Nazis. Rick Blaine and Captain Renault have returned to the city of Casablanca. Rick buys back half of Café Americain from Signor Ferrari. Ferrari is using the cafe as a centre for black market activities. Rick and Renault are now working for the resistance in secret. The audience. The series will appeal to a broad adult audience, viewers interested in historical dramas, romance, and tense tight thrillers, classic war movies, film noir, as well as fans of the original film. The influences: Third Man, Ministry of Fear, It Happened Here, Flame and Citron, Army of Shadows, and Casablanca, of course. TV shows like World on Fire, SSGB, Island at War, Monsignor Renard, and Secret Army. Filming locations: Prague, Casablanca, Grenada, Cordoba, and Seville. The format is 8 one-hour episodes. Synopsis: the date is November 1941. Casablanca is an occupied city. It's controlled by Vichy French government, closely watched by the Nazis. Our protagonist, Rick Blaine, is under suspicion for aiding the resistance. He is closely watched by the Gestapo and the Vichy police. His nightclub, Rick's Café Americain, is considered neutral territory. The story follows Rick's exploit as he aids the resistance and tries to stay one step ahead of the authorities. While trying to sidestep criminals, he's hell-bent on exploiting the situation for their own gains, and follows on from the ending of the movie Casablanca. Appeal: the show rides on the back of current wave of nostalgia for this period in world history. It's based upon arguably the greatest noir movie ever made, one that's close to many people's hearts. It focuses on one of the less well-known periods of occupation in World War II and the involvement of the Vichy French under Philippe Pétain, which will be different and pique curiosity. The show centres on an exciting cat-and-mouse game between the authorities and the resistance, and the individuals caught up in and trying to survive or escape from the war in North Africa. It's a tense thriller filmed in a noir style, with a dark, almost black and white colour grading. It uses noir camera techniques for hard cast shadows. Characters: character Rick Blaine. Rick is the owner of Café Americain, appears aloof and dislocated, refuses to accept drinks from customers, treats his friends with little affection or respect, and gives the impression that he doesn't notice that the war is being raged around him. However, a different Rick lives behind the cynical facade. Rick is a mysterious and complex character, solitary and self-absorbed. He has an ally and friend in Captain Louis Renault, the head of the Vichy police. They are aiding the resistance together under the nose of the Nazis. Costumes are 1940s American style clothing: summer suits, classic overcoat, trilbies, white tuxedo, bow tie. Louis Renault, Captain, is not a man of strong conviction, but a friend to whoever is in power at the time. He works with the Nazis, but never with a sense of urgency or with any real conviction. He arrests people simply to impress his German superiors. He is hedonist, and he takes advantage of pretty refugees and regularly receives fixed winning from Rick's casino. He has secretly become committed to the Allied cause and helps to resistance when he can by turning a blind eye or warning them about the Gestapo. He and Rick developed a strong friendship. Costume styles: 1940s French colonial military clothing, white tropical captain's uniform, black police uniforms, medals and regalia. Signor Ferrari. Ferrari is the owner of the Blue Parrot Cafe, Casablanca bar. Ferrari is part owners of Rick's Cafe. In addition to running the Blue Parrot, Ferrari is involved in the black market. Ferrari is mostly concerned with making money. He's a good person deep down, but he can be a rogue. He can be trusted up to a point, but everything has a price. He appears to be a jolly fool at times, but this is just a front. Costume is 1940s paladin suits, expensive short shirts, a fez cummerbund. It looks like an out-of-businessman that's lived in Morocco for a long time. Kim Lasseter. Kim Laster is a newly arrived refugee. She is constantly looking over her shoulders. She is young and glamorous and wears latest Paris fashions. She is a femme fatale with a tough exterior and gives very little away. Renault takes an interest in her the moment she arrives and can see that she is in need of assistance to escape the war. He points her to Rick's cafe, but they are suspicious of her. Rick and Renault think she may be a spy. Costume is 1940s French Paris fashion, expensive haute couture day wear, elegant evening gowns. She appears never to wear the same thing twice. She is immaculately turned out. These are mood images for the shows. As you can see, they're based on 1940s posters and the stills photography at the time, noir style, deep cast shadows. Research inspiration. In the 1940s, film titles were quite different than they are today. They mostly consisted of title cards and shots of stars. Although there are some fantastic typography titles, these tended to be static, having evolved from the letter cards of the silent era. The title sequence for this show had to fit the time period and narrative, but using modern techniques, it has to feel a retro-modern, contemporary noir. Monochromatic noir-style titles. Sin City 2. This is a parallax motion graphics that they wanted to use. They also admired the style of Christian Volkmann's Renaissance 2054 animated film and took both of these as inspiration as well as posters from the 30s and 40s. I wanted the titles to look like film noir posters from that period, but to be animated. This is a shot of storyboards. As you can see, there are 9. Plus the there will be a Warner Brothers ident. Breakdown of the title sequence. The function. This show is a sequel to the film Casablanca. The titles reintroduce the audience to the players, the situations, and location. Genre. This sets the tone of the show. The audience will see film noir cues in the styling and treatment, similar to film noir poster art. Narrative. The players live in the shadows and lead double lives. No one can be trusted. Everyone should be feared. The protagonist, a man of action. The femme fatale watching and listening, ready to spring her trap. The devious police chief hiding his secrets. The black marketeer who lives for the deal and walks on a razor's edge. Your composition. Live action from Casablanca, animated stills, credits, vintage live action, title card, soundtrack, sound effects, and the studio ident. Cinematography. Black and white film noir style animated stills, vintage near-real footage, stills of Casablanca, its buildings and interiors. Structure of the title sequence. The title sequence is broken down into 10 segments in 3-second intervals. Scene 1, the end credits of Casablanca. This reintroduces the audience to the original film. It establishes the timeline. Scene 2, title card. Scene 3, live action footage. Street scene of Casablanca in the 1940s. This establishes location. Scene 4, animated still of Rick, the main protagonist, establishes noir style and character traits. Scene 5, credit sequence, piano soundtrack as time goes by, reinforces links to the original film. Scene 6, animated still of Kim Lassiter, mysterious femme fatale, reinforces noir style and hints at character traits. Scene 7, animated credit sequence on plane fuselage, mysterious character on a plane, cue to the end of Casablanca where female protagonist leaves by plane. Now a new love interest arrives by plane soon after. Scene 8, animated still of Captain Renault with a transparent fluttering Vichy flag. Renault represents authority but works with the resistance. The transparent flag represents his bipartisan nature. Scene 9, Senior Ferrari. Ferrari is a black marketeer whose only real interest is making money at any cost. The sequence shows transparent burning banknotes. This signifies the fragile nature of his alliances and hints at the dangerous path he treads. Scene 10, Warner Brothers ident. And this is a test rendering that I did of some of the scenes. Thank you for watching. Any questions?